week to everybody. We are in parashah Pinchas. Pinchas ben Elazar Cohen. What's happening in Pinchas? The story of Pinchas basically started last week. And Pinchas basically raised a sword, a spear, and stabbed two people while they are in act of making love. The woman come from Midianite using witchcraft, and through that she basically used the magic to make love to the head of the tribe of Shimon, Zimri. Her name is Kozvi, and people start dying because of that magic. Pinchas, being the grandson of Aaron Cohen, took the spear while people have a discussion what to do about that situation and kill both of them, and the plagues is over. Of course, everybody, we talk about the desert, they all raise up and say, we gotta kill this guy who killed the head of the tribe of Shimon, who we think he is. And they realized he didn't do a mistake, but by coming to him, he had a clinical death. I mean, he died clinically. And after that death, the two sons of Aaron, if you remember, Nadav and Avihu, that come from the time of when they were doing Esh Zara, foreigner fire in the temple without permission from God. They died there, even they were the highest soul ever lived. So Nadav and Avihu enter his body, and he become Pinchas, eventually become Eliyahu Navi, become Elisha the prophet, that come to every Brit. So as much as he cared for the Brit means circumcision area, that's why they make him the same Pinchas is Eliyahu. So the whole parashah start with that, but actually after that he's talk about holidays, he's talk about not Zelophehad, he's talk about Yerusha, inherited. All of those things has been mentioned here, but I would like to focus on the beginning of the parashah, because we know the beginning of the parashah is the seed level of the parashah. For that reason, I would like to start just with a simple understanding of Pinchas and getting into more depth with that. And of course, to those of you who want to know a different angle of it, look into my lectures from different years, where I explain Pinchas in many, many ways. So if you go to all my Pinchas lecture, I think I have about 5 or maybe 7 of them. I highly recommend that you listen to all of them if you can. So we say Pinchas ben Elazar Cohen. Pinchas, the son of Elazar, was the son of Aaron. Ishivet Chamati. He brought back my anger. Me'al bnei Israel, above the Israelite, because he was zealous or jealous, and he took my jealousy or zealousy within them. And because of that, I didn't kill all the Israelites. Seemed like I did something great, because without them, everybody will die. So what is going on here? So I'm starting with Orach Chaim, a Kabbalist that happened to be in that university last week, so that's why I like to use that. לאמור, צריך לדעת למי יאמר אם לפנחס לא היה צריך לומר, אחר כך לכן אמור, it say, וידבר השם אל משה לאמור. It said, God spoke to Moses, please go and tell it. Who do you tell it to? To Pinchas, to the people, to Moses? Who do you tell it to? ונראה, it seemed like, שנתכוון בזה שאומר לישראל, it seemed like it told to the Israelite, because the Israelite were very angry with him. He just killed a person. לא ישנאו בשביל הריגת הנשיא, he killed the president of the Shimon. ובמה שנמשך מסיבתו, שחבט המלאך מהם מה שחבט. So the angel of death and the angel of Chema, the angel of anger, he was capable to diffuse him. כאשר עבר בסמוך. How did you diffuse him? צריך לדעת. למה הוא צריך ליחסו? To understand it, we need to know why do we repeat the dynasty of Pinchas. ואולי שמתכוון שיזכרו עבודם לטובה, maybe you want to mention his grandfather and father for good. And the idea here say Orach Chaim something very important. Aaron was sad for whatever happened in the golden calf. The grandson is Pinchas. So still it was Chema, still it was anger over Aaron for whatever happened. If you think that the anger was just removed, it cannot remove. There is something in Kabbalah called itaruta de le'ela, itaruta de la tata. A nourishment from above and a nourishment from below. A nourishment from above, it's steady, it cannot change. It just come to you and it's there. Sometimes you can use it, sometimes you cannot use it. And nourishment from below is when you initiate some change, and because of that you connect to the fulfillment that comes from above. Pinchas was itaota delatata, meaning awakening from below, and through Pinhas we can have the light of protection that the chema, the anger will not go there. הרי עמד פנחס בן בנו, ופדה נפש כל ישראל. He removed the anger from all the Israelites, ולא חיליתי את ישראל. And for that reason God tell them, I was supposed to erase all of you, but because of him, I'm not. And who I'm relating it to? Ben Aaron HaKohen. He's the grandson of Aaron, to show you that Aaron maybe brought the golden calf, but also his grandson removed. From here we learn so many lessons. Who's your grandchildren going to be like? Sometimes people tell me, I'm not worried about my kids or my grandkids are not practice spirituality, because there is time. There is no time. Whoever parents listen to me, there is no time. Start in age 3 with your kids to be spiritual. Don't start in age 16. People ask me why my teenager not do well. I say because you didn't do well when they were 3. Start very young with your children. Start very young. Teach the kids young how to be kind, how to be sharing, how to pray, how to meditate. Don't wait till age 16. From here we learn that you relate, Aaron relate to his grandson action. That means that the grandmother benefit from the grandchildren behavior. So make sure you teach your kids well, so your grandkids will be well as well. So that's, there is more in Orach Chaim, but because I'm bringing all kind of things, so I want to bring different angle. We talk about that the Israelites were angry. They had some anger toward Pinchas. Well, those of you know the legends, Rabbi Elimelech of legends, he will always be bothered when you speak bad about people who judge or negative. He cannot see them negative in people. So he bring it up and he say, Piresh Rashi, לפי שהיו שבטים מבזים אותו. Rashi say that they make fun of him, of Pinchas, הריתם בן פותי זה. Because they say Ben Puti, meaning that he was the son of Putiel, Yitro, okay, from his mother's side, his mother generation to come from Putiel, which was a guy who do idol worshiping. So he's killing one of our president, and of course everybody want to kill him. So how do we deal with it? יש להקשות. זה רבי אלימלך, we have to bring it a kushia, like a question. They don't know who his father is. His father is Eliezer, Elazar, a Kohen. This, after Aaron, is the Kohen. So he's important. He's an important guy. Why the Israelite would make fun of him, who his mother is? Ask Noam Elimelech. Cannot be. So Noam Elimelech disagree with the concept that they make fun of him, just like that. There is got to be some secret. And without Kabbalah, without the sword, it's very difficult even to ask a question, very difficult even to look for an answer. They talk about him bad. They know who his father is. Why do we write the Yichus? Yichus means dynasty of Aaron. Say the Kodesh Kodeshim Noam Elimelech. We have to look at Noam Elimelech as a Sanagor al Israel. Is looking always for what's good in the picture. You need to know there is different type of people. They don't know what's right, what's wrong spiritually. To do it, not to do it, to move to Florida, not to move to Florida, to move to Israel, not to move to Israel, to do extra tefillin, shimush rabba. Nobody do shimush rabba. People do Rashi and Rabbenutam. Shimush rabba tefillin is only Rabbi Chaim Vital, Admorim Yerushalayim, people like famous doing it, to put Shimush Rabba tefillin. That tefillin you put only for Mincha. And then everything you ask happen. You can ask for all Am Israel when you put this tefillin. לפי שאין מבינים לנטות עצמם, אם יש מצווה בעשות הדבר ההיא, כי העץ הרע מסמא את עיני אדם לבלתי לראות האמת חלילה. They don't know if it's right or wrong, because the evil inclination make us blind not to see what to choose. אלא כשרואים צדיק אחד. So what they do? They look at righteous people. שעושה הדבר ההוא. They see the righteous doing it. והצדיק ההוא עושה הדבר באהבה ויראה כל כך, they look at him how the tzaddik do everything with love and everything with an awe and a respect. And that's tremendous, There is few places I pray, and one of the places I pray on a Saturday night, I look at the guy and he's always smiling in the end of Shabbat. I ask him, how are you? So he said, well, nothing is more beautiful than the last hour of Shabbat, because all the light of God is there. I don't want Shabbat to be over when I get to the last hour. So he's such a beautiful personality. I say, what is your secret? What are you working on? How did you get to that level? He said, I'm working on acceptance. So what? I say, acceptance, he tell me. I accept whatever God is doing. Good, bad, it's all for the good. And when I do that, then I'm excited about being with Shabbat, with Hashem, with God. So when you meet people like that they look up to tzaddikim, to look to righteous people, they're very special. When somebody has a teacher, respect them, because it's been the Lord himself. Very, very important, Havana. So here he's looking at the tzaddik, and based on that he's acting. עד שכל הרואים אותו מעידים על הדבר, שהוא מצווה גדולה לעשות כמעשהו, אף על פי שבתחילה לא ידעו אם יש בזה מצווה בזה. So how do you start doing a minhag? Okay, how do you do that? For example, I enjoy to do sukkot in my sukkah. To do sukkot in my sukkah, eat in my sukkah, sleep in my sukkah, and doing even ninuim and tefillah in my sukkah if I have the merit to do that. So that's a big mitzvah. But where did I learn it from? I learned it from a teacher that I had before. I saw him doing it. His teacher didn't do it. And I thought, wow, find out it's a great mitzvah. And also Dari talk about it. So I was excited. So the way you know something is right, you look at the tzaddik. כן היה הדבר כאן שאצל השבטים לא הבינו את המצווה של הרכת זמרי. In the beginning, the people of Israel didn't know that to kill Zimri, the head of the tribe of Shimon, who commit a crime with a woman sexually with black magic, it's the right thing. They didn't know. כתוב ברש"י, נתעלמה ממנו הלכה. The halacha of what to do, is הבועל הארמית, זה נקרא. What to do about it, the halacha left. וכשבא Pinchas, and Pinchas came, and he did whatever he did, then everybody agreed that was the right thing. Okay? So why they have to mention Ben Puti? Why they have to mention that his grandmother is a daughter of idol worshipping? Because they saw a person doing such a great things like this, they didn't know about it. So they say, how did he know something that we didn't? So for that reason, the Torah say, the Torah mentioned, hey guys, don't forget, he's the son of the grandson of Aaron. Elazar is the grandson, and Ben Elazar, so that's the Nin. ועמדה לו זכות אהרון, and the merit of Aaron. והם שדיברו חלילה לא בחמת גנאי דיברו. So when they speak bad about him, it's not that they spoke bad, אלא כמטמיעים על עצמם. They spoke bad on themselves. And say, how come such a person like that, coming with a idol worshipping grandmother, can be such a high thing, and we couldn't see it? איך לא הרגישו? They judge themselves. What's wrong with us that we didn't see it? אני רוצה לנו מזה שאחר שעשה פנחס דבר הכניס קנאה בלב עם הקודש. What is it? So beautiful, guys. I hope you're getting it. בקנו את קנאתי. What does that mean, that Pinhas was jealous in the jealousy? Meaning he wake up the jealousy among Am Israel to do better thing. Jealousy to do more mitzvot. Jealousy to do more good things. It's a good jealousy. If you look at people that give more charity than you and you want to give more than them, that's a good jealousy. If you see people who help more people and you want to do more than them, good jealousy. Always look for people who do more than you and get jealous. That's a jealousy. It's healthy. It's healthy. He wake up that jealousy among Am Israel. Now all of them become quick about looking, what am I missing? What mitzvah I'm missing? That's a true jealousy. So if you live in a neighborhood, you have to pray to Hashem that your neighborhood will be oseh mitzvot, people who do more than you, always more than you, always more tzedakah than you, more helping lazula than you, but look at them and get jealous. It's not evil eye. Look at them and say, what do they do better? Well, they help 1,000 people. How many people do you help? I help 10. Now you should get jealous that you are missing 994. So then if you start to helping 1,000, they helping 1,000, there's 2,000 people getting help. והנה האדם העובד השם בעצמו לפי שכלו, אז אינו יכול להגיע לעלות, כי בקושי שכלו מגיע, ושוב כל כוונות עושה רבי למלך הקדוש, when a person is truly working on himself alone, and doesn't look at other people, you're never going to get to another level, because you're going to stuck in your frame of reference. It's nice. אבל כשאדם רואה בחברו דבר טוב, when you look at your friend and you better, והוא מקנא עצמו בו, לעשות גם כן כך, הקנאה מביאה שעשה אפילו שלא כדרך הטבע. Then you start doing above nature the thing, because what happened? Because you get jealous. ויכול לעלות למעלה על ידי זה. That's the way you're going up. So look for people who do better than you. That's what you need to do every day. Look around. Who's praying better than you? In other shul, I have a person who pray. He's about 78 years old. He pray with the spirit of 19 years old. I'm jealous. I'm looking at him always to the side, always to my right. And I see when he pray, and he hardly can walk, this guy, fire. You know? So he's motivating me. Huh? I like this. So you look around, you got to find those people who pray better than you, meditate better than you, giving more charity than you. Those are the people that inspire. ויכול לעלות למעלה עד זה. ולכן כתיב, אל תקנא כי אם ביראת השם כל היום. You cannot be jealous, but you can be jealous of people who have an awe toward the Creator. Because when people do mitzvot, when people do good things, that means they're better than you. You should look up to them. And who is the example in the Torah for this? Pinchas. Pinhas did better than he didn't have to do it. He's a Kohen. Kohen is not supposed to kill. But he saw that nobody else doing it. He jumped on the mitzvah and did it. And then people say, I missed this idea. על ידי בקנו את קנאתי בתוכם, פירוש שהכניס בלב ישראל קנאה. He put jealousy within the Israelite, and now they have bigger desire. Because when you're jealous, your desire grow to another level. ולא חיליתי, פירוש הדבר הזה הוא דבר שאין בו כליון. לכן אמור, when you get jealous about doing more, it's never going to end. You're always going to get more light. So every day, ask yourself, if there is a woman, a man in your life who do better than you spiritually, don't say betach, don't say for sure. That's not good. That's mechabe et hakina. Find that person, go learn from them, go look at them. You know, if you're a woman and you know there is a woman who run organization with 2,000 people, in your organization is only 1,200 people. You gotta find out why, what's so special. לכן אמור, אני נותן לו את בריתי שלום, כי האדם נקרא עובד השם באמת, הוא השלם. מה זה ברית שלום? What is I give in the covenant of peace? It's not just peace, it's שלם, שלמות, completion, בעובדים. That's why in the shalom, what do you have in the shalom? The vav is broken. The zeir anpin is broken to show you that a person has to have awakening people. Sometimes on the outside, that person will look bad because everybody gets jealous from him. But through that looking bad, he lift up everybody. That's why I give him the brit of shalom. So how do you get there? How do you get to the level of Pinchas? What do you do to get to the level of Pinchas that you can be like that? You will be looking for things because you don't have that power naturally. You cannot be born with that. How do you get it? Well, the idea of the Zohar in Pinchas, the Zohar in Pinchas talk a lot about this week parashah, about getting ibur, getting extra soul, doing the Shabbatot, doing the Chagim, or doing the mitzvot. When you do good doing, or when you do Shabbat, or when you do Rosh Chodesh or a holiday, you automatically have additional soul of a righteous person start helping you. So I'm opening in Sha'arei Mare Rashbi Zia. It's from Dari, it's a complicated section, so I'm going to skip here and there. And it says like this, כבר הודיעתיך בדרושי הגלגול, כי כפי הבחינה שאתה באדם בעת שחטא, כך צריך אחר כך לתקן בו בגלגול. Every person has to come back to fix whatever went wrong last time. So whoever's seen Ruach Nefesh Neshama, so he has to come and fix the thing. So יש צדיקים, there is righteous people, עושים מצוות מועטות. They don't do a lot of מצוות, they do few. ונקרא צדיק וטוב לו. That צדיק, righteous, and it's good for him. אבל אינה תלוי בזה, כיוון שתחילה היה בחינה גדולה, צריך לתקן אותה בערך באותה הבחינה העליונה. Whatever he came here to fix specifically those things. אבל המשרד האכסנה דילק על מה שהייתה מעולה, לא נדע בשביל המתוקן עדיין הוא מעובד. But whatever he didn't finish, he need to finish. Last week we talked about, if you remember, I don't know if you listen, or Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa. Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa was poor. But tell us the Arizal, that he based it on תיקוני זוהר ס"ט, דף כ"ו עמוד א', אוקיי? עובדה, בארנש בינון בעלי קבין. So he say that the reason רבי חנן בן דוסה has to come, בגלל שכנראה חטא בדבר הזה, he did a certain חטא, and because of that, he has to come and receive the soul and fix himself. ובשבת, and בשבת, in מוסף, when you pray מוסף, in כתר, יתנו לך, זה כתר יתנו לך השם אלוקינו, אבל לא כל אחד מזה להכין נחת לנפש יתרה. You get a special נפש, כי בכל ליל שבת נתווסף באדם נפש יתרה. Every ערב שבת, you have נפש יתרה. It's also in מסכת בית זין, in the Talmud, and also in the prayer of מוסף. In the night you have נפש, in מוסף you have נפש, וביום שבת נתווספת נפש יתרה מצד התפארת כיום, עוד שאומרים במוסף כתר. So what is Dari teaching us? How do you change? It's kind of contradicting everything that we're teaching about self-help kind of thing. How do you change? You change by doing the right thing, and by doing the right thing, you have an additional soul who come to help you. You need to have additional soul to come to help you. Moses, Aaron, but you have to do an act that they did, and then they come and help you. Without them coming to help you, I don't want to depress people, I don't want to make people feel bad. Of course, your effort is important, but your effort is only tziyur, it's almost only a blueprint to bring, through that blueprint, to bring a vessel, which means desire, and then the fulfillment will be nefesh yetera, ruach yetera, neshama yetera, that the soul, additional soul that come to help you, guide you how to do. Otherwise, you cannot see the right thing as normally right. You cannot see that that's the right thing to do. You cannot see that you need to move to Florida or New York to meet specific people that without you, Mashiach will not come. You don't see it. You gotta do different Shabbat specifically. Without Shabbat, I'm sorry to tell you, kosher. People tell me, what is the first 2 mitzvot? If you keep it, you're gonna be psychic. I always tell them, if you promise to keep Shabbat and you eat kosher, those 2 things, you already start to be a psychic. You don't need a lot. Why? Because the soul that enter your body start to wake you up to see things that you didn't see before. So that's moving us to Divrei Chaim. Divrei Chaim, those of you who don't know, is Rabbi Chaim Mitzanz, one of the greatest tzaddikim of all the people. So he's raising a point of what exactly happened with the Midianite. What is that story, Zimri and Cosby? Like, we need to know now, not from the point of the tzaddik was doing the right thing. Now we want to know from the negativity. How does the negativity attack a person? What is exactly happening there? So I'm reading from Divrei Chaim, Pinhas. ולכן נראה לי, דיני הרשעים המדיינים, those evil, those wicked Midianite, הטילו זוהמה מחשבות רעות בתוך הדת ישראל. You want to know how it starts? Negativity, מחשבה, in the thought, in the consciousness, in the awareness, in the frequency of the mind. והנה יש בני אדם שגם עושים תשובה על העברה מחמת עירה. Even if people try to change, listen carefully guys, even if people try to change, even if people want to do tshuva, you want to know why they do tshuva? מחמת יראה, from fear, ומחמת גדולת הבורא, ברוך וברוך שמו. And there is people who are above them that they do tshuva because God is the greatest. It's actually written in Akdama Sefer Torah, beautiful section when they talk about Ava v'Yira. So they do good, but they don't. I didn't know there is a missing point until I read it myself. אבל על כל פנים, לא שונא בעצם להרע. They don't become in hatred of what the bad thing they did. Wow. This, I'm telling you, I never read it before. You have to do tshuva before Rosh Hashanah. So tshuva, there is one level, yirah. You're afraid something will happen to you, which is not good level. The other level is because yirat haromemut, you know, yirat haromemut is because of you worry about the Olam Haba. And then there is another yirah, which is you realize how God is great. Here he's saying it's not enough. You have to hate what you did bad. עולם באמת עיקר הוא למאוס ברע ולהיות שנוא בעיניו. You have to hate it and you have to be disgusted by that. והנה כל זמן שהרעים בעולם מטמאים את האוויר, you want to know what the wicked people are doing to the spiritual people, that's what the spiritual people don't make it, האוויר, you know האוויר, air that you're breathing, it's consciousness in it. I never saw it before, by the way. It's a beautiful ma'amar. It's conscious. So if you're surrounding yourself by negative people, the avir, the molecular structure of the air that you breathe, affecting you, your machshava. You want to know how your machshava been affected? By the avir. Behevlehem. Why? Because the way they speak is negative, so it's in the avir, it's in the air, almost like airborne disease, but in a spiritual way. Mirurim, and also through the thought. If you're around them, their thought affect you. Umachshavot lo tovot, and when they think negative, jealous, they're not happy with their life, they want the wife of another guy, they want the husband of another woman. וצריך להגביר מאוד לדחות מעליו הרע להשניאו. That's why you have to hate the negative thing you did. If you don't hate the negative thing that you're doing, think you're also one of them. So it's very, very dangerous, say to us, Divrei Chaim HaKodesh, Kodashim. So he continue. It's very good for Rosh Hashanah here. It's very good. And I hope my team will take this section, maybe divide it and make sure it's before Rosh Hashanah. It's going to help a lot of people. וזהו מאמר הכתוב, פנחס בן אלעזר, השיב את חמתי. What does that mean, Pinchas? Remove my anger. והשם בתוך עדתו ולא חיליתי את בני ישראל, אך לכם לא זו די לכם במה שעשיתם תשובה. So he's telling us דברי חיים, it's not enough to do תשובה. רק לשנוא את הרע. You have to hate the negative thing you did, ולחייב אותם, והחיוב הזה לכם כדי לדחות מחשבת החיצונים, תנו לכם ותילו הזוהמה בכם. Because if you don't hate the negative, if you don't hate the negative thing that you're doing, they will not leave you alone. ולכן אם תעשו כן ותשנאו הרע ותכלית תחשבו לאנשים, כי מותר אדם מן הבהמה, אין עם האדם אחוז בחבלי הגשמיות. If you're not capable to hate the negative, what's the difference between the beast and a human? ועיקר מבחינת אדם שיהיה שלם, גם בטבעו להגביר כוח השכלי, אפילו לחומר שלו. What makes you human is when your brain starts to overcome the body. Meaning you tell your body, don't eat, don't look, don't walk, don't listen. ולא לבד לשמור שלא לעבור על המצווה. It's not enough just to be strong enough not to do a negative thing, כי אז זה לא אדם שלם. Then you're not complete person. כי השכלי מכריחו לחומר, אבל החומר מתהווה לכוחו תאוות כבהמה. The brain is telling the body, don't do it. It's not enough. But the body, the materialistic part of me, the physical part of me, מתהווה as lust, like an animal. ועיקר הוא לשבור כוחות התאווה. The main thing is to conquer, reduce, control, get rid of the lust within us, and ולשנוא, and to hate the evil, the selfishness within me. If you don't hate it, it will never go away. ואז גם החומר תחת השכל להחדים יתלקטו, זאת גדר שהאדם שלהם נמנע ממין האנשים. That's how you know you become a spiritual person. When you're no longer fighting with the negativity, you hate the negativity. You hate Lashon Hara. You hate speaking bad about people. You hate getting angry with people and screaming at them. You hate it. It's not that you dislike it. It's not that you try to change. You hate it. ועל זה כאשר יקיימו לצרור המדיינים, לחייב אותם באמת, אנו צריכים למנות להיכנס בגדר מספר בני אדם. יוכלו לבוא לבחינת ארץ ישראל, זה כלומר הציון בקודש גבוה, בשעה 10 קדושה לך מגיע כמובן. Then you can go into ארץ ישראל and do the קדושה. Yeah. So, how do you get there? So, continue דברי חיים, שיש באדם לעשות במיעוטיו להתנהג בחסד, יש באדם כוח התאווה, בהשתוקק לעשות חסד. וטבע החסד שבכוח אדם הוא בהשתוקקות. So, if you use, for example, the chesed, chesed is lust. Chesed bring lust within the person. You have ta'ava, but ta'ava to do good is good. Just be careful, don't do good for the ego point of view, because then you lose it. Again, you have to hate the ego, not dislike, not trying to work on it. Hate. You gotta hate the gava. You have to hate the sinah. You have to hate the anger. You have to hate the laziness. You have to hate the fifth, the tava, the lust. If you don't hate, it's still there. You have to hate it. Because otherwise, the anger sit there and wait for you when you're going to call him. You have to look at the anger in the eye and say, I don't want you. I hate you. Anger, I hate you. Get out of my system. And then you become like Pinhas to see what's missing. Last but not least, Zohar also talk about Rosh Hashanah, and on page Kuf Lamed Aleph in Pinchas Sulam, verse Shin Nun A, Tfus Yashan Daf Resh Lamed Aleph Amud Aleph. שישי, כמו שלמדנו, ביום ההוא של ראש השנה שעובדים עין כיסאות לדון דין העולם, in ראש השנה there is 70 chairs of judgment, so many defensive, there is a lot of force of defense to help us, and the persecutor standing there, one from right, one from left, and everybody fight about each person. For that reason, person have to confess what he did wrong. And whoever is not confess what he did wrong, it's a problem. ומי שדן אותו הקדוש ברוך הוא לטוב. And remember, if God judging you, it always will be for good. Why? Because you confess. ועל כן ביקש דוד המלך שבתני אלוקים אתה ולא אחר. King David said, God, I want you to judge me. I don't want somebody else to judge me. Shlomo also. Okay? So it's very important to understand what happened in ראש השנה. ועל כן צריכים לפרש החטאים שלו כל דבר ואיבר. You have to confess everything you did wrong. Right? And when you do that, you know, it's opening up a all new conversation. You're not coming to God with, I'm good and I want more for the next year. You actually come to God, I'm not good and I need help to get better. Because don't worry about the fulfillment of God. You cannot have doubts about the fulfillment of sustenance or love in your life or relationship or health. This is all available from the Kedusha, from the holiness, say the Zohar. But if you don't confess, if you don't look inside, that's Rosh Hashanah is so important. כי אינו עוזב את המקטרג שלמד עליו חומש, משום שהאדם הקדים ואמר, ולא נותן למקום לאחר לומר. If you actually confess what you did wrong, the dark side, the persecutor, the negative angel, I don't want to say the name, will not look for you. Because God said, what do you want? He's confessing. Can I listen to him, please? He's confessing. אז הקדוש ברוך הוא מוחל לו. Then God forgive you. But when you confess, don't read from the book. Be prepared. Like be prepared to speak your heart. It has to be real. זה שנאמר, הוא מודה ועוזב ירוחם. You confess, you admit you did it, ועוזב, then you leave the sin, ירוחם. Then God will forgive you. So there is two things to do on Rosh Hashanah or before. Modeh, confess. If you have a teacher, if you trust a person in your life, talk to them about what you did wrong this year. You must talk to people. You must. It's not enough to talk just to God. Find a person you trust and talk to them. Talk to them. You have to have 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Tell them what you're doing wrong. Then you have to commit that you leave the wrong thing you're doing. Yerucham. Then you will be merciful. So I think what I did today with you in parashah Pinchas is understanding who Pinchas was, that each and every one of us can become Pinchas. And if we truly want to get to a level where we all not just been forgiven in Rosh Hashanah, but it's really to get to a level that I hate the negativity, as Divrei Chaim said, or we jealous from a person, as Noam Elimelech said, about what they're doing wrong, or as Dari said, through Shabbat in Moadim and Chagim, we can get Nefesh Yetera, Ruach Yetera, and get to this level of unbelievable. Then, of course, you know, we will understand that the Yichus, as Or Chaim said, the Yichus, you know, your grandfather or what your grandchildren will be, is so important, because through that on Rosh Hashanah, when you pray, you need to understand, you get to the pray, confess what you did wrong, stop doing it, and then you will have mercy on you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. All the best.